my dad was a composer, director of music, and organist. He played many instruments: guitar, violin, cello, organ, piano, many things.
Quite a composer.
And we, the children, we had to learn the music. He wouldn't let us go without first having our class, solfeggio, reading the notes, and sit at the piano for an hour, at least a day. Mexican boys and girls, a club, they used to do dancing and singing. And I used to do their singing. But I needed somebody to play the piano for me, to accompany me. So I told Father Kern, Father, I need an accompanist. He says, well, I think I got somebody for you. In the next following 2 or 3 days, I was in the dining room, and he says, Fernando, he says, come here. I have somebody for you to meet. And I went to the office. He says, I want you to meet Mary Gallia. She was sitting there with a gray overcoat and a gray hat with a green feather in the hat.
We used to
I
wear
remember
hats
all
in
that.
those days.
He says, this is Mary Gallia. She's going to accompany you. And I asked her, do you play the piano? She says, yes.
No, he couldn't speak any English. I couldn't
That's
speak
true.
any Spanish,
A
but I
little
was
bit.
studying
A
Spanish in high school, so I'd take my Spanish book with me and look things up and communicate with, music is the language,
Music and sign language
universal
is
language.
great.
We were very good friends, and then
Yeah, we were
we
friends
fell in love.
for about a year and a
I
half.
accompany him. He was going to do a very formal engagement with the ring, but I jumped the gun.
Mom is not known to have patience in those things.
So,
What does that mean that you jumped the gun?
well, then I said, well, you have the ring? Something like that.
You didn't even let him propose.
Right.
I mean, there was no reason. I mean, we knew
You see,
we were going to get married. It was after all.
So
I mean,
romantic.
when you're at that point, I mean, you know, so.
Agreed.
What exciting is to let your guy to propose to you in a romantic way, right?
Yes.
Then I found out in Mexico, they serenade the girl, they bring a mariachi group and all that, and
Serenade the girl from outside of the house when she's,
see, I got gypped.
yeah. I
did
was
it to
supposed to bring a
yourself.
white horse and the mariachis and sing for her, but none of us too anxious.
So you weren't going
To get me.
anyway.
I was in St. Louis, Missouri, doing my 4 months of training
Fort Leonard Wood.
for Lindenburg, Missouri. And Mom had told me that the time was getting close, So I went to tell my company commander, I said, my wife's about to have a baby. Pardon me. I will need a pass furlough to go and see my wife. Oh yes, anytime. Just let the sergeant and the company know. Fine. It was getting closer and closer. One day, one evening, I went to the barracks after all the work during the day, and we all went to bed. I was falling asleep when the PA system says, PFC Reyes, you are running on the at the office. Oh boy, this is Mom calling me already. And I was running as fast as I could towards the office. I didn't see one of these steel cables that hold the posts, the light posts. And I ran to my face. He threw me right back. I didn't care. I got up and I went right into the office. Sergeant, here I am. He says, oh, it's a raise. You're in PT tomorrow. No, PA tomorrow. The kitchen duty. The cooking,
KP.
KP, that's what it was. And for this, I had to go through all that. Well, fine. That Following morning, early in the morning, Mom calls up. So I went back to the office. Sorry, Sergeant, my wife is on the phone having the baby. I have to leave. Oh, you raised, you got out of it. I went out to the highway, got out of the camp. I said, how am I going to get down to the airport? There was some cars going by and I was asking for a ride. Nobody would stop. Then it's a convertible come with a young man. And he stopped right away. Hey, soldier, he says, where are you going? He says, I gotta go to the airport. My wife is having a baby. What time does the airplane leave? 12 o'clock. It was about half an hour before. He says, hop in. He took real fast. He got me there right on time. Just enough time to get my ticket and jump in the plane. Our first job, when we got sent to Korea, we were placed in the rear guard or the front lines, and that's where they used to bring all the wounded, the dying, the dead. We used to go there. I used to take the chaplain there. I used to run my Jeep. They had provided me with a 45 and an emblem. The chaplain cannot wear in the arms. So I used to put my emblem between the chaplain and myself, ready there, because my driving towards where the wounded were was quite a ways from where we were. In between that point and where the military people were, was quite a distance, and you never knew where you were going to find between that. When we came back to Japan, we were very lucky. We were sent to an old Japanese officers' camp. Beautiful camp that had a golf course, beautiful chapel, very nice, how do you call them?
Living quarters?
Yeah, the living quarters. And they had Japanese girls working in the camp in the offices. So when we got back there, I formed a choir. But then I thought, Japan was hurting a lot yet from their defeat. And I thought, there's a healing needed here. So I said, maybe if I invite some of these Japanese girls to form part of our choir, make it a mixed choir instead of just a men's choir, it might do something for that. So I went to my chaplain, Father Cunningham, and says, Father Cunningham, I have this idea, inviting the Japanese girls for this and this reason. Oh, he says, well, the time that I've been a chaplain, he says, I haven't seen that, but if you can, you're welcome to it. He says, fine. So I went to the offices and invited them. They were thrilled. They were so happy. Yes, I got about 22, 23 Japanese girls to join. And of course, the boys, they were the happiest guys.
They were thrilled, no doubt.
I had this idea to help the orphanage. They need a lot of things. And I brought some of the pictures. I told the nun, Sister Mary Ann, beautiful, very gentle nun, who was in charge of this orphanage. I said, Sister, I'd like you to provide me with some pictures of the children. Fine. He got me about 10 of them. I brought these with me, showed them to Father first, and then brought it to the general. I said, I want you to look at this. All those little faces, they're Americans. A little, of Japanese, but mostly Americans, who have been, fathered by our boys, and now they need something. We need to help them. And I have this idea. Present this to the boys in the barracks and see if they want to cooperate. You know how much I collected from different companies? $3,000.
Wow.
So we came with a hitch loaded with stuff. When we got into the compound where the orphanage was, you should have seen what happened. All the little kids that were there came out running, yelling, GI, GI, GI. And they used to be so grateful, so happy. They would grab our legs and jump into our arms. I used to go to the opera with my dad. He used to direct opera as well, my dad. And we used to go to the Palacio de Bellas Artes. That's the Palace of Beautiful Arts, where the big operas are. Beautiful place. We used to go there a lot. When I came here, I wanted to follow that. And I went to study under Mr. Cameron McLean, a Scottish teacher, very good singer. And while I was there, I told him, Mr. McLean, I would like to join one of the opera companies. Oh, he says, fine. I'll recommend you. My first full opera was La Bohème, and it was Marcello, the painter.
Sure.
And then after that, with the Il Trovatore, that was also a full opera that was bigger than the La Bohème. And I was the Count de Luna on that one. The bad one that sends his brother to death, which he didn't know he was his brother. They were fighting for the same girl, you see. Yeah, those years of the opera were very nice. Somebody else who called me to sing with them was the Michigan Opera Theater, which was very much more involved with the Detroit Symphony. They used to work together.
They're still around now, right?
Yeah, they're still up. And they called me and says, would you like to become part of our group? I says, no. I says, I'm part of the Michigan Opera Company. They wanted me to change with that.
Right.
I says, but I can sing something with you if you want. So I did. One that I sang was Babar the Elephant.
Oh.
Children's little
Cool.
operetta.
Yeah.
Fun. A lot of fun.
He was a front part.
Some of the
Kids all
scenes.
learned it because he'd be playing on a record.
One of the scenes that impressed the kids the most was when Mimi was dying. And
Esther was Mimi and Robert was Rodolfo.
Rodolfo, right.
I think your mother and Angie, they were directing the whole thing. And Esther's dying on the bed and Robert, Mimi!
Crying away.
How old were they?
Oh, Robert must have been about what? 5, 6, 4? Oh yeah, they used to love that. Used to see me practicing, so they wanted to duplicate that. From the other side,
He learned a lot of Maltese
Oh,
with
yeah.
her ear.
looking at my coming here, after I got married, and we had our babies, and as they were growing, I see a big plus in there, because they got, from both of us, ethnicity, background. Not only that, but the way mom is, the way I am, they all share in that way that this happens all the time. It's normal.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, even though we didn't speak that much Spanish in our house with the children, my customs were there. Mom's remembers of the Maltese customs also were there, and they kind of blended in very nicely.
That's right.
Grab.
Don't you have a serenading song?
Ave Maria, llena eres de gracia, María, llena eres